morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
We're so glad that you're here to gather with us for a story. You might recognize my face from church. I'm Pastor Jonathan. And this is my lovely wife, a face you may not recognize, Reverend Sarah. She's here with us to tell a story. So, a long time ago, there lived a woman named Hagar. She was the servant to a woman named Sarai, also known as Sarah. She was also the wife of Abraham, a name that you're probably familiar with because of stories or songs that you've heard, such as Father Abraham.
No, back in my day. When was my day again?
So you see, God had promised Abraham that he would have a family, but as of yet, that promise had yet to have been fulfilled. So, Sarah, not being able to have a child, went to her handmaiden Hagar and asked if she would be the one who would bear the child for she and Abraham.
Huh? Okay.
After a little time had gone by, Hagar learned that she was indeed pregnant. She was going to have a child. However, this was not an occasion of happiness for everybody. Jealousy rose between Sarah and Hagar. Sarah started to mistreat Hagar, and Hagar started to act like she was better than Sarah. It got to the point that Sarah told Abraham she wanted Hagar to leave, but Hagar overheard and ran away.
She fled into the wilderness. And it was there that God found her near a spring of water. And God asked Hagar, "Why are you here by yourself?" She said, "It's because I've run away from Abraham and Sarah who have mistreated me." God told her to return. A strange request to ask someone to go back to those who had been hard on her.
Really? Go back?
But before she would go back, something significant was going to happen. She was going to be the first person in the Bible who would name God. Here in this desert place, she named God
El Roi. How does that sound?
You are the God who sees. Hagar named the Lord this because God had seen her plight and had taken pity on her. The water well that she was near would come to be called the well of the one who lives and sees me.
So she did as the Lord had commanded, and she went back home to Abraham and Sarah.
Abe, I'm home.
And in due time, she would give birth to a son named Ishmael.
He's beautiful. We'll call him Ishmael.
Now, Abraham was 86 years old at this time. Quite an aged man. Abraham, because he was so old, thought that Ishmael was going to be his only heir, his only son. But God appeared to him and let him know that he and Sarah were in fact going to have another son named Isaac. And Isaac was the one through whom the blessings were going to come. God had told him that Ishmael would still be a great man, though.
But things became worse for Hagar after the birth of Isaac. One day, Sarah saw Ishmael scoffing or making fun. Now, remember, Ishmael's a child, but Sarah became angry and told Abraham to send Ishmael and Hagar away.
Abraham, that Hagar girl, if she could skedaddle, that'd be great.
This made Abraham very sad because, well, Ishmael was his son too. But God told him to listen to his wife Sarah and do as she said. Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael away, giving them some bread and water for their journey.
Kaiser. Nice. Not bad. Sparkling. Nice touch.
When the water was used up, she put Ishmael under a shrub and sat down a short distance from him. She thought they were going to die of thirst.
It's okay. It's okay.
But God heard the voice of the child, Ishmael, and sent an angel, and an angel came and spoke to Hagar and told her that everything was going to be okay, and reassured her, because Ishmael would grow up and become a great man. She looked up again and saw a well of water. She and Ishmael would have water enough to survive.
We're gonna make it!
So, this is a strange story, right? I mean, why would we tell you a story about Hagar and Ishmael? Well, it seems like many of us are feeling like we are out in a desert, doesn't it? I mean, we're not like in a literal desert with sand and hot weather, but just as Hagar and Ishmael were thirsty for water, we have started to become thirsty for other people, spending time with other people other than just our family. Maybe we're missing our friends. Maybe we're tired of being inside all by ourselves. But perhaps, like Hagar and Ishmael, we can see where God is with us on this journey. We aren't alone. And maybe, just maybe, you will have something significant happen to you during this time. Hagar was the first person to give a name to God during her time in the desert. I wonder what things might happen to us while we're in our desert.
There are so many stories we could have to tell you today. They're going to have to wait for another time. And until then, we hope that you will
Be kind,
do
do good,
and love your neighbors.
Bye.